This is Heels Section 119's After the Bell with Marlena. So put on your big girl panties because
it's about to go down.
All right, shut up, bitch. You gonna learn today.
after a brief Santa Cruz-induced hiatus, After the Bell returns this week with another joyous, raucous podcast. Fuck yeah. Hello and welcome to After the Bell, the extra content podcast for Heel Section 119. We're on episode 8. Hey y'all, it's Marlena. If you're new to After the Bell, it's all pretty simple. This is a Bonafide rant podcast. Nothing more, nothing less. It follows my regular show, Heel Section 119, which is available here on Spreaker.com on demand every Saturday night after 11 p.m. Also, if you're adventurous, we're live on Saturday nights from 9 p.m., so tune in then too. Let's jump right into it. This is something I've been wanting to talk about for a really long time at this point and just haven't. I'm a person who believes in having an opinion, standing beside it, being loud and proud about it, and carrying on at will. There is nothing wrong with that at all from where I stand. But when you're just being an aggravating asshole and trying to stir the pot, that's when you need to stop your shit. It never fails. It's usually in the city of Chicago, but this happens in other places too. And I'm talking about the CM Punk Chants. Let me break something down for you simple fucking people. These chants are pointless. They waste time. Nobody gives a fuck. Least of all, the person's name you're chanting doesn't give a fuck. Don't get me wrong, I am a CM Punk fan and have been since 2001, 2002. I probably will continue to support him through whatever it is he chooses to do in his life. I admire him. I really do. But these chants are so mind-numbingly stupid. He's been done with the WWE for well over 2 years now. He has no plans of returning. He doesn't give a single solitary fuck about the WWE product at all. Why do you insist on beating a dead horse? I can assure you that nobody on the planet Earth cares about the WWE's product less than Punk. So why do you carry this shit out? Is it to piss off other people? I don't understand it. I'm not even entirely sure that it's anger that it triggers in me. The only thing that makes me angry is how unbelievably mind-numbingly stupid this is. Stop it. The city of Chicago is still the biggest offender of this, but it does happen other places, like I've said. I just don't get it. Please continue to have your opinions, be outspoken, but it doesn't make any sense. Nothing even has to involve him at all. And these chants happen. If he still was bitter about the company, I would totally get it. Start shit. Do you. But it doesn't make any sense at all. The WWE killed his wrestling vibe. Let it fucking go. The second topic gets me really, really heated, so hold on to your fucking vagina. The inevitable truth involving professional wrestling is that it is not a safe sport. There has never been anyone lying and saying that it is completely secure and nobody ever gets hurt. They literally warn people not to try these things at home because it's dangerous, even for well-trained professionals. That all being said, there is nothing at all in the world of professional wrestling that grates me more than fans who make jokes and make light of injuries. This actually came up because of Payback. And I didn't quite realize how much it pissed me off until I saw a number of memes come up regarding the Enzo Amore injury at the pay-per-view. If you missed it, Enzo went for a baseball slide under the rope, got caught up on the ropes, and honestly looked bad. He fell out of the ring, hit his head on the floor, and the referee threw up the X, signifying that there was an authentic injury. Not even an hour after the pay-per-view, there are people posting memes, making fun of and like making light of the injury that Enzo had without even knowing what was actually going on with him. I don't think it had anything to do with Enzo per se. I am an Enzo fan, so that might have been a part of it. I admit my bias. But it's the fact that you have no tact and no consideration that this is a human being that you're making fun of. One thing that bothered me was the number of, quote, rest in peace Enzo comments and memes that I was coming across as well. And it honestly blew my mind. How can you be so disingenuous and so cruel, not knowing the well-being of another human being? That doesn't make any sense to me. And to be quite frank, it pisses me off. You would never do this if it was a friend of yours or a family member who got into a severe car accident or was put in a position where their life was at risk or in danger. Yet because this is a person who is there to entertain you and you don't know them personally and you think that, you know, it's all entertainment, that it's totally okay and totally acceptable to make fun of and joke about whether this person is okay or not. I don't know what planet you live on or what kind of upbringing you had or, you know, anything of the sort, but you have a fucking problem. And to be quite honest, I don't want to understand you. I don't want to be in your head. I don't want to have any ability to decipher what the fuck you're talking about or how you're thinking. You're an asshole. Pure and simple. There is no other way to put it. If you are making jokes and making light of a person's injury, whether you like them or not, you are a piece of shit. I don't deny my lack of fan cred when it comes to the Bella twins. But even when Nikki was injured, I wouldn't do it. Because at the end of the day, she is a human being. She is a person. She has feelings. She has a family. And this is her career. So seeing other people who just, oh, it's just a joke, or, you know, oh, you know, I didn't mean anything by it. You did. You obviously meant something enough to post it. You obviously meant something enough to stand behind it. And to be quite honest, I think you're a piece of trash, and there's nothing more that can be said about that. This is the most serious thing that I will probably talk about on this podcast. For the simple fact is I don't like getting serious. Not when it comes to professional wrestling. But this goes beyond professional wrestling. This is human beings and their livelihood and their lives that they're putting at risk because anything can happen. Enzo could have broken his neck. He could have died from the impact of that particular injury. It's no joke. And if you are willing to make a joke about somebody else's life like this, I have no time for you. You honestly should reevaluate yourself, what you stand for, and to be quite honest, you should probably just not be around people because you don't have the capability and the capacity to do so. There is a minor sub-bitch here, and rather than making it an entirely different topic, I'm just going to fill it in here. Another thing that really bothers me is when fans blame other people for the injuries of said superstars. I'm going to stick to using the Enzo case as an example, but I've been seeing so much finger pointing and, you know, accusation of how Simon Gotch was responsible for Enzo's injury. I don't understand the magnitude of this type of mentality. Every single person that steps into a wrestling ring understands the risk. They understand that there is a possibility that something can go wrong. They understand that it's not always going to work the way you want it to. There are accidents. Things happen. What I don't think the fans get is that they know this going into every match, every training session, every rehearsal. It may be choreographed, but there are cases where something goes wrong. Pointing the blame at another person doesn't solve anything. Simon Gotch was doing his job. He was following a script. He didn't do anything that was unnecessary, and he didn't do anything that was malicious. They write it into the scripts that they're going to take credit for these injuries because that's what heels do. Heels, quote, hurt people. So blaming Gotch as a person for the injury to Enzo is not only stupid, but it's completely selfish. Simon was just doing his job. That is all I can say about that. He was doing his job and he did it well. As soon as he realized the referee was stopping the match because Enzo was actually injured, his entire disposition changed. There was no way he was in character. So I don't understand why you find it appropriate to point your fingers at him and tell, he is the reason Enzo's injured. He's not. It was a bad break. It was an accident. And it's not fair to put that kind of blame on someone else's shoulders. He probably already felt bad enough as it is, because whether you realize it or not, these people all work together very extensively. They are all friends. In some cases, these people become family. You don't want to hear this kind of stuff, that you hurt somebody that you are very fond of, or that you are responsible for them being shelved. That's not how it goes. That is not fair, and that's completely and utterly idiotic to do. So the last topic I plan on talking about this week is kind of something I touched base on before, but it's a little different. Obviously, I am very much against the whole muting the crowd and censoring the fans thing, because the fans are what pays your fucking bills. But in a recent event, I believe it was at Raw, a fan had a sign that said, "When it rains, it bores," which tickled me immensely because I thought that was clever. Apparently, on WWE.com, the photo was censored. Legitimately censored. And I'm sitting here thinking, why would you do that? Fan signs are kind of touch and go. They check you when you go in to events to make sure that your signs are appropriate for television. Make sure that they're appropriate for the brand, which, whatever. I kind of understand it to a degree. You don't want anything explicit or especially offensive. So I understand that to a degree. But to blatantly censor a fan sign because it doesn't promote the people you want over is absolutely stupid to me. You can't censor your fans. Without them, you don't have a promotion. You don't have a job. You don't have a product. When you start taking the voice away from your fan base, you're alienating them. And that's not okay. The fact that this is even happening or has happened is just ludicrous. So censoring the fans is obviously nothing I'm going to sit here and promote because I think it's stupid. You need to stop. If you want fans to continue to support your product, you need to support them and let them have their fucking opinions. Otherwise, what's the point? So this week went a lot longer than I usually do. And as I mentioned on the show, it really heated me, so I had to go with it. That being said, if you haven't done so already, Heel Section 119's weekly broadcast is live on demand on our official Spreaker page, so go have a listen to that. We discussed a number of happenings this week. We ranted a lot. And we actually were closer to our hour and a half time length. So you can also head over to the Heel Section 119 Facebook page and get interactive with us. Find us at facebook.com/Heel Section 119. Give us a like and chat with us about wrestling. You can also talk to me there about what really bothers you about professional wrestling, and it could be featured on this podcast. Go ahead and talk to us. We're not that bad. For Heel Section 119, this has been After the Bell. As always, I'm Marlena, and I will be back next week with another episode for your listening pleasure. It's pretty exciting. I understand. Later.